Hi, I'm Dan with Cali Raised. Today we are going to be installing our fog light replacement kit on the 6th Gen 4Runner. To get started, what you'll need is our fog light replacement kit, as well as a 10mm socket, a ratchet wrench, a Phillips, and a flathead screwdriver. First thing you want to do when you start your install is to make sure your kit has the appropriate hardware. It will come with a driver and a passenger bracket and these screws to go with it. I've already assembled one of them, so we'll go ahead and assemble the second. When you're installing it, you want to make sure that your cord goes through the outside here. We'll tighten it down because it's going to be harder to do so when it's in the bumper. And that's it. To get started on removing the front bumper, what you're going to do is pop the hood. The latch for that is under the left-hand side of the dash. And then you're going to have a couple of grommets and screws to take out, and we'll go from there. Next, we're going to remove the plastic cowling in the front of the engine, one for the intake, one on the radiator. What you're going to do is press down on these clips and just pull it out. I'm going to do the same thing on the radiator. And then lift this out. Careful not to lose your grommets. And you're done. Next, we're going to disconnect these two connectors for the wiring harness. You may want to use a screwdriver just to push this pin back to make it a little bit easier to unplug. You can do the same thing on this white one. And there you go. To start removing the side, you have a handful of bolts on that liner here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts that you're going to be undoing on the side. We're going to be popping the side out after we go ahead and undo these plastic clips in here. Next, we're going to undo this screw. What we did on the driver's side, we're going to go ahead and repeat on the passenger side by removing those bolts I showed you before, the two plastic clips, popping out the bumper, and removing the screw on this side as well. Last, we're going to go ahead and remove these 3 bolts holding the bumper on. We'll just pull it off. First, we're going to be removing these 3 screws. Next, we're going to be unclipping both of the fog lights on the driver and passenger side, as well as the park sensors here in the middle, if you have them. We don't have any park sensors in our SR5. If you do have park sensors, they're going to be right here, and they should be pretty easy to unplug. And then here's the other fog light. We're going to undo the tabs from one side to the other. You can pick whatever one you want. You're going to want to pull the bumper back so that it is not putting any pressure on this front plastic facade, so that as you're taking it off from one side to the other, you can pull it down. It's a lot easier to take off. So first, we're going to bend this tab and push down a little bit. Same with this. These top ones will have little plastic tabs to pull down. So you're going to push that down and then push that tab through. And just kind of go from the top tab to the one below it. Slowly working your way across. Again, there's the top tab. These 2 middle tabs don't need to be undone. Just to show you how I'm pulling this apart, as I'm undoing these tabs on the back side, I'm pulling this down. Okay, so next we're going to be removing these 2 screws to undo this fog light. Next, we're going to do the same thing on this one by removing these 2 screws. Next, we're going to go ahead and install the fog lights. Go ahead and feed your lead through the back. This is our driver's side bracket. Next, we're going to install the passenger bracket with accompanying fog light. Next, we are going to reinstall this plastic facade. We're just going to go ahead and line the clips up and push them in. Next, we're going to go ahead and install these 3 screws on this plastic. Next, we're going to reinstall our fog lights. And then we're also going to be plugging in those parking sensors back in if you have them. Just as a tip, when you're plugging this in, there are 2 sides to this plug. If you plug it in and it's tight, it's good. But on the opposite side, if you plug it in and it's loose like that, you just flip it to the other side and you're solid. Once you guys have these clipped in, you can go ahead and zip tie it up to another wire loom if you want, just to make sure this doesn't just keep dangling around as you drive. Now that we have everything tightened down and clipped in, we're going to go ahead and reinstall it onto the 4Runner. You're going to first start with those 3 bolts that we took it off with, and then you're just going to be doing everything else in reverse to how I took it off. And that's how you install the fog lights on our 6th gen 4Runner. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe on Cali Raised LED's YouTube channel, as well as visiting caliraisedled.com.